Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Ali here. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing something with you that will blow your mind just like it did mine. I'm going to give you some insight into why your wife, your girlfriend, your lover, your partner, your long-term friends with benefits, whatever you want to call her, why she may not want to be sleeping with you anymore. So we're gonna dive into some women's sexuality, desire, infidelity, monogamy, and we're gonna take everything you knew and just throw it out the window because you were wrong, I was wrong, everybody was wrong. I've been doing quite a little bit of research lately because I am a sex education student with the Sexual Health Alliance. Yay! And also small shout out to my patrons for supporting me in this educational journey and for the growth and maintenance of this channel. So if you want to check out the Patreon, you can in the link below. And I've been really enjoying sharing nuggets of information with you because I think it's important. And one of the books I am listening to is called UNTRUE by Wednesday Martin on audiobook. I love audiobooks. And I'm gonna read the whole title because it's quite long. Why nearly everything we believe about women, lust, and infidelity is wrong and how the new science can set us free. So I honestly haven't even finished the book yet, I'll be honest with you, but some of the research is so fascinating, I just had to share it with you. If you're watching this video, you're probably a man, unless you're the 6-point-something% of my female audience. Hi ladies. But the majority of my audience is male. And I often get so many comments of you men sharing your frustrations about your sexless marriages at home. So comments like, she's lost interest, she's checked out, I've accepted living in a sexless marriage. I've even posted, a couple weeks ago, a video about catching your partner masturbating. People leaving comments like, sounds like he's not getting enough help. Bragging that you've caught him that many times should be telling you something. Or, yes, I have because the wife would not help me out. A good girl helps a fella out. That comment bothers me so much. Like, why doesn't the fella help the girl out? Why is it always on us? Anyways, some of you have even admitted to possibly stepping out of the relationship to get your needs met. And I get it, okay? That lack of connection can definitely feel like a void in your life. But here's the thing, there's this huge myth that women lose interest in sex over time, but that's default mode. What if that wasn't true? First of all, we know that there's a big difference between spontaneous desire and responsive desire. If you want to learn more about that, you can check out the video that I did on it. And research has shown that women tend to be more responsive than spontaneous. So it's not like we're walking around all day wanting sex and thinking about sex all day, all night. But with the right stimulation and the right arousal, boom, game is on. I've talked about this many times in my past videos where my sexual desire or my craving for sex isn't as high as it used to be. And I used to crave sex a lot, all right, a lot. But I don't know if it's with age or with being in a long-term relationship or hormones or just life, or there's so many factors that contribute to your ups and downs in your sexual desire. Either way, you give me the right warm-up, I am ready to go. But Gab, I could like touch his arm with my finger and boom, he has an erection and he's just ready to go all the time. But me, I need a little bit more warming up to do. Here's where it gets interesting. So I've been listening to this audiobook, UNTRUE, and it has seriously flipped my understanding of how I view female sexuality. One of her biggest arguments is that society has long misunderstood female sexuality, often portraying women like they are less monogamous, less sexual, less driven by lust compared to men. And she argues that none of this is based on evidence, but just cultural conditioning. But the truth of the matter is, we're actually sexual freaks. Women be freaky. I know that because I'm a woman and I think about weird sexual shit in my head all the time. Women are sexual freaks. I'm here to tell you that. Women are a lot more sexually adventurous than we're given credit for. Take the study that she cites by researcher Meredith Shivers, who is a leading expert in female sexual arousal. So she took a group of men and a group of women and clipped some wires to their genitals to measure for blood flow, arousal. She showed them an array of erotic stimuli. So many different things. So you got heterosex, like male on female, then male on male, then female on female, then group sex, threesomes, like male group sex, female group sex, so many different things, including monkeys having sex, non-consensual sex, a whole range of different stimuli. And The results showed that women were actually turned on by everything. And when I say turned on, I mean they had a physiological arousal response in their genitals, like there was blood flow in there. Because a lot of women obviously are like, why, like I'm watching the monkeys have sex and like, it's not really like in their mind, they're not turned on, but their body is showing otherwise. So that's a whole other video in itself when it comes to non-concordance and the whole mind-body connection. But either way, women are sexual freaks, okay? And when you think of men, what do you think they were turned on most by? I bet you can guess. Hetero, so male with female, and female on female. Super predictable. This suggests that women's sexuality is a lot more fluid and complex than men's, and we're turned on by a broader range of things. But do we act on it? No. Why? Well, because society has conditioned us to suppress it. The author suggests that marriage has been used as a tool to suppress women's sexuality, to keep us restrained and faithful. I mean, side note, I'm also reading a book called Sex and Punishment, and if you're into history, I definitely recommend you check this book out. I'll also link it below. But it goes through, you know, different civilizations and so on, and how women were treated for, you know, engaging in infidelity, adultery, and damn, like, you know, we got the short end of the stick. We really did. Anyways, that's for another topic. And here's another thing. While men can be satisfied by sexual familiarity, women get bored. So research in this book suggests that women actually struggle with monogamy way more than men do, contradicting the stereotype that men are wired to stray while women seek stability and monogamy. A lot of women who were interviewed in the book said they loved their husbands. They didn't want to leave their marriage. They enjoyed their partnership, but they were just craving something new. They weren't excited anymore. They wanted that mystery. They wanted that novelty. They wanted that little boop, like hit of dopamine that you get from meeting someone new and being desired by a stranger. They wanted something new to rekindle the spark, because I mean, you can't deny there is something so fucking hot about being desired by a stranger. And I don't want to discount what you have in a partnership, a loving, healthy partnership, because that is so special too. And that is something that so many people crave and are very delicate about preserving. Hence why, you know, you don't stray, you don't sleep with other people, you don't cheat, and so on, because it means so much to you. But scientifically and biologically, there's just like this thing that happens, you know? And when you think of eroticism craves adventure, craves mystery, craves novelty, and it's in direct like contradiction with partnerships like stability and security and so on. Like eroticism doesn't think those things are sexy at all. They think like dark stranger in the corner is sexy. And if you want to learn more about that, I also highly recommend you check out Esther Perel's Mating in Captivity. Great book talking about the contradictions of eroticism and how to stay erotic in your relationship. The book cites research that counters the stereotype that men are more prone to boredom in long-term relationships than women. She specifically references a study that shows that women experience a greater decline in sexual desire over time in long-term relationships than men do. This shows that female desire is highly responsive to novelty. And many women report feeling unsatisfied in their long-term monogamous relationships, more than men. This runs contrary to the traditional belief that women seek monogamy and men seek variety. We're not that different. If anything, we're more different and we crave more variety than men do. So what do I think about this? Well, when I was reading this research, it really spoke to me, because as much as I love Gab and I love our partnership and I love our adventures and I want to grow old together and I want to sit in rocking chairs together and I love our sex together, I've definitely thought about how hot and sexy it is to be desired by a stranger. You know, will I act on it? Probably not, because that requires a lot of conversation, but it's that hit of dopamine, you know? And I've heard Gab talk about that when we've been with women before, and he gets that little hit of dopamine, that little like excitement in your body when there's someone new. And I never really felt that with a woman before, or the woman that we've slept with, but I could see myself feeling that with a guy. It's interesting to think about, because it's not something we're used to exploring in monogamous relationship, but it's definitely worth having these conversations with your partner. So what does this mean for you? What does this mean if your wife, your girlfriend, your lover, your whoever has completely lost interest in wanting to sleep with you? Please know that it's probably not due to her lack of desire, because trust me when I say there's a lot going on in there and she's probably loaded with desire, but she's just dormant. And that's where having these conversations is super important. Now, I'm not telling you in this video to go out and cheat. If you're a woman watching this, I'm not telling you to go out and cheat. If you're a man watching this, I'm not telling you to, I don't know, like throw yourselves in these situations that you haven't talked about yet. I'm just like giving you the information and the research to consider some possibilities, to spark some conversation, to open it up. And keep in mind, when you ask her, what does she want? Is this something she's interested in? Maybe she doesn't know what she wants. Like, I know when people ask me today, what are you into sexually? I'm actually not sure how to answer that question, but in cases like hers, in the womanly duties of the world, like the house, the kids, and all that stuff, she might not have had space in her brain to consider any of this. So just starting some conversation and it okay not being able to answer directly like what you want, is this something that you want? It's just like to get the conversation flowing. That's a lot of what my videos are for. I like to just spark some conversation, get some knowledge in your brains, to open yourselves up a little bit to different possibilities and consider different things. And if it works for you, great. And if it doesn't work for you, that's okay too. But the point is, we need to finally recognize that women's desires are way more complex. And sometimes we need different stimulation to get back in the game. All right. Anyways, that's it, friends. I don't know what your 2 cents are on this. If you have something to say, please drop it in the comments below. And remember to be nice. Remember, this is a friendly debate. There is no right or wrong. I am just sharing information of you based on what I read. And I really recommend that you check out this book. I'm assuming that the primary audience for this book are females. They're probably the ones that would go out and buy this. But I really think it would be very beneficial if you're a man to learn something about female sexuality. You can click on the link below this description to check out the book if you're interested. It's very science and data driven. So if you're into that kind of stuff, then you will definitely like this. And, it's just an interesting read and, learning about different perspectives. I'm terrible at always closing out my videos because I never stop talking. So I'm going to stop it there. But if you want to support the growth and maintenance of this channel, you can do so by clicking on my Patreon link below this description. It really helps us out as creators to keep the content flowing. And I just want to say thank you to all my former and my current Patreon members. Je vous aime. And my YouTube community, of course, all of you. Anyways, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.